Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm gonna continue with the spark plug change on the Toyota Tundra passenger side. Let's get straight to it. We're gonna start out by removing our air intake tube. I'm gonna try to avoid removing the box. I got an aftermarket cold air intake, but anything that will help ease access to our ignition coils. So remove my air line, gonna twist it to the side like that. This little vacuum line right here. And undo the hose clamps for the intake tube. And I don't want to, but I'm pretty sure it would be a lot better if we disconnect our wiring harness for the mass airflow sensor. Put that off to the side. Remove my, it looks like vent tube. Disconnect it from the engine and rotate it that way. And this looks like we can put a screwdriver in here. Make that a little bit more movable. I ended up removing the air box, and I'm going to remove this wire harness down here. Now I can start disconnecting the wire harnesses for the ignition coil. Again, if you want to use a tool like this, I don't recommend it, but if you're careful, it can be done. And I want to use the tool to squeeze, not to pull up. Alright. Now, this last spark plug wire harness for the ignition coil has a rubber boot over it. You just slide it up, probably to protect it from any debris. And it's nearly impossible to get a tool back there, but I'm gonna attempt it. Okay. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but there's the last one. Okay, and we got it. Okay, we got our bolts securing our ignition coils down removed. Now we're ready to remove our coils. Oh, and then the rubber gasket got left behind on this one. Just make sure you pick it up. Okay, that is our first spark plug pulled out. Got the spark plugs here. Pencil OEM spark plugs, part number SK20HR11, which is the same as our old spark plug. And the spark plug gap calls for 0.044. So I got my gap tool here. I'm just gonna check it to make sure. Right there. And if the box is damaged in any way, reject the box. Do not even take them, because sometimes they fall on the floor. And if this little gap is different than what your vehicle requires, it's not gonna be any good. Sometimes they could land like that, rendering that gap useless. I'm gonna apply just a little bit of dielectric grease around the base of the spark plug, only in the ceramic part. And some people put anti-seize on here, on the threads, but it's really not necessary because these are nickel plated, and that technically is your anti-seize. And you want to thread it on by hand. If you feel any resistance at all, you back it out and start over, because you could be cross-threading it. And what I do when I kind of feel that it's threaded in, I pull the tool back out, and if I don't see a spark plug, that means it's threaded in. Now, to torque these down, the specifications call for 15 pound-feet of torque, but I've never liked torquing them down with a torque wrench. What I always do is follow the torque guide on the box. You tighten it down by hand, and then after that you tighten it down a quarter to a half turn more, and then after that a 1/16 of a turn more, and that is your manual torque for the spark plugs that I always follow. We're gonna get it hand tightened, which is about there. Go back a quarter to a half turn, and then a 1/16 of a turn, which isn't much, and that is hand torque. Now we're ready to move on to the next one. And hand tighten, quarter to a half a turn, and a 1/16 of a turn. Alright, on to the next one. Oh, shit. On to the final one. Okay, and our last one. Oh, this one has some oil residue on it. We are ready to install our ignition coils back in, and I am installing the same ignition coil that was in that same hole for the spark plug, just in case the engine maps these to a specific cylinder, but it may not be the case. And there are no torque specs for these that I know of, so I just tighten them down by hand as best I can, but not too tight. So it would be wise to take note of how tight they were when you loosen them. Okay, back over here, we're ready to connect our ignition coils wire harness back in. And when you go to do that, you want to press down firmly, and you should hear a click. That's how you know it's secure. There it is. And don't forget, this one all the way back here has a rubber boot that goes over it, so slip it back over the wire harness. Next one. Click. Next one. Click. And then the next one. Click. Now this. This is our wire harness for the mass airflow sensor. I'm gonna tuck that in there. This one. And you should hear an audible click for all of these. If not, it's probably not secure. I have my air box installed, my air intake tube is installed and secure. Now all I have to do is connect this vacuum line. And my mass airflow sensor wire harness. Again, make sure you hear it click. Click. Everything else is nice and secure, and now we're ready to turn on the truck and take it for a test drive. Okay guys, it's a moment of truth. Got my spark plugs installed, everything put back together, and I'm gonna turn it on. Everything seems like it's running like it should, so that's going to conclude this video. Thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.